So where does the fat go when you burn it? Now I've got two theories for you that's gonna really help you out. It's not something you're gonna hear from other channels. It's not something you're gonna hear from scientific papers, but I'm almost convinced that these are fact. Is that, true story, your hands and your forehead are the top places that your body gets rid of heat. Now Stanford has a device they've proven in their experiments, in their testing, they've decided it works way better than taking steroids. Now this device goes on their hand, has a vacuum function, and they grab it and it cools down. It creates a vacuum. I think that kind of sucks the blood toward, because anytime you grab something cold, your body wants to receive blood. It's kind of like a thermfrost, what's that thing called? Frostbite theory is that your body wants to bring away from the cold into the core, bring all your blood. So it's a vacuum thing. It takes the blood back into your hand, and you're holding a core of some sort, and it takes the heat out of your hand. Now this has been shown to increase strength more than the steroids have at Stanford when they've tested both theories. This device that they have, you can look it up, this device that they have, that I'm actually trying to replicate currently. I've sourcing vacuum parts from China and whatnot. It'll be a while, but I'm using the gloves for this reason, that the heat is the #1 reason why your muscles fail. The #1 reason why your muscles fail is heat. So now I'm thinking, okay, so on my strength days, I'm holding a frozen water bottle in between sets. 90 seconds is what their test was, 90 seconds. That's a good rest range for strength. So in between sets, I'm holding a water bottle, frozen water bottle in my hand. It's not as effective as what they have is, but I'm just trying to test out my theories. And that's great for strength days. But then I go, training is like conditioning training or strength training is putting yourself in a disadvantage. So I'm thinking, okay, let me overheat my body through covering my hands and covering my forehead. Even though it's cold, I got the heater on. I want it to be as hot as possible during my conditioning days. So in theory, I would fail sooner. I would be gassed sooner. And then maybe by that theory is that your body would get better at regulating heat because you're exposing it to more heat, right? Your body adapts. That's one theory. And I'm gonna get to where the fat goes when you burn it. And another is kind of the answer to that question, where does the fat go when you use it and it's no longer on your body? Your body does not use it as energy. You're not pissing it out, you're not pooping it out. You know what the #1 way your body gets rid of body fat? Up to 18% of this body fat gets used as energy in the moment. The rest of it, what happens? It's expelled from your body as CO2. Did you know that? I mean, it's long since known in science is that the equation is most of the body fat, a high percentage of your body fat, once you use it up, gets expelled as CO2. That's called breathing. Now, I think of when I was in my fittest shape, I'm doing exercises where I'm gassing, like I'm out of breath, I'm breathing heavy, I can't hold a conversation, talking sprints on the track, you walk back, and you do another sprint on the track. This kind of conditioning where you're breathing heavy, you're breathing heavy. Can you imagine someone collapsing upside down on a track after the workout, laying on their back, looking up, and you can see their lungs, they're going up and down, they're killing their workout, they're killing it, they're sweating a lot, but they're breathing heavy, they're breathing out a high volume of CO2. This is also another theory, is that it's well known that yes, you breathe out your body fat when you use it. When you burn it, the equation is your body gets rid of it through CO2. You could just look that up or take my word for it, but now we want to get rid of all that body fat. So let's do a correlation type of inferment. I'm going to infer that my workouts where I'm breathing heavy and I'm really exerting myself, I'm going to infer that that will get me at a better body fat percentage. And so far it's 100% accurate in all of the testing I do for myself, and that's how it works is don't wait for the papers to come out. You're gonna be 50 by then, you're gonna be 80 by then. Do it now, test your own things out, but I know when I'm my fittest is when I'm exerting myself at a high level. I'm talking sprints, I'm talking lift, you know, high intensity, go run, high intensity stuff where you're breathing heavy, circuit type of stuff. This is what gets your body fat percentage down. Now, if you pair it all with sprinting and heavy lifting, now we're building muscle at the same time. Okay, we're building muscle and we're losing body fat percentage, but those are the two theories. The heat theory, so working on my conditioning by exposing myself to a higher amount of heat, specifically the forehead and the hands. And these specific Under Armour gloves I got off Amazon for like $30, $40. They're really grippy actually, and I love picking up dumbbells with them. Sometimes I go to drop the dumbbell and it like sticks in my hand a little bit. I love that. Now, expose yourself to higher heats, especially in the next season. I've got a shirt, a long sleeve, and a hoodie, and it's like 65, 75, what is it out here, 71. In the morning, it's when I get up at 3:30 in the morning, it's gonna be 42. So I'm gonna have a third hoodie on, a third hoodie. And it still won't be enough, I'll have my sweats on, but your body heat is another way to manipulate your results, your body heat. That's a huge factor. If you can get gloves, if you can get a beanie, and then wear all your warm clothes. But specifically cut off your feet. They should be cut off, right? You should be wearing socks, maybe double socket, depending on your, if you're an athlete or if you're, depending on your region, how cold it is. I'm currently doing one sock, but I do know the idea is I could do another pair of socks to get extra hot. Cover your forehead. I'm not doing it super effective right now, but I do it in the morning. I wear a beanie. And then cover your hands. This, your body is going to not like, therefore it's going to adapt. And you're gonna get better at heat regulation. This is one of my theories. That's what I'm practicing right now. You know, practice makes perfect. Experience is the best teacher in life. A lot of people out there are waiting for, no, the science has to say this, the science has to say that. I grew up at a time when they say caffeine was bad for you, caffeine is good for you, caffeine is bad for you, wine is good for your heart, wine is bad for your hearts. They used to be saying smoking is fine, nicotine's fine, and now smoking is bad, and vaping is okay, and now vaping is bad. Stop waiting for that shit. Test some things out yourself, especially when it comes to giving effort. All of my theories here have to do with action, not thinking and pontificating. And let me just give you an idea that I have. I'm giving you an idea and I'm telling you how I'm testing it, how I'm putting in the action, putting in the work. And this is my suggestion for you guys, is put in some extra work, put in some extra testing of your own for your theories. And if it involves a little bit of hard work, then you're gonna win either way, regardless of the outcome you feel. Now look that up. If you probably just don't believe me, look that up. Yes, your body breathes out CO2. Most of the body fat, once it leaves your body, the way that it leaves your body is through breathing heavy. The way that it leaves your body is breathing heavy. So if you're at the gym, standing still, doing curls, and you can do it composed, quietly, right? At a gym, you don't want to be and looking like, see, the people are afraid to look ugly. That's the problem. People are afraid to put in effort. People are afraid to look ugly. So whether you got to go out in the middle of the night by yourself when no one can see and do sprints, and you're breathing, you got a side ache and you're wheezing, or you're running a mile, testing your mile, trying to get a 4 minute mile, whatever it might be, go out there and breathe heavy. Now I say pair your explosive, your running, short-term running, faster pace, sled sprints, burpees, box jumps, plyometric type stuff, jump rope maybe, with heavy lifting, heavy squats, 3 to 5 reps, deadlift, 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 burpee over, burpee over, burpee over, and then get running. So your body is utilizing a lot of energy to feed the muscles, but also your body's got to keep them lungs going. Those lungs, you're doing a lot of cardio and now you're breathing heavy, you're breathing heavy. You're requiring a lot of energy out of your body and you're breathing heavy. This is a perfect solution for your fat loss. This is where the fat goes. When it goes, some people out there, you and me not included, some people out there have no idea where the fat goes because their whole life has been almost like hoarding, but hoarding fat, just accumulating fat, and they don't know where the fat goes because it's never gone. But now it's different, and you and I are different. I'm just sharing you with some tips and some ways that I think about how I train my members and how I train my clients. I want you breathing heavy. If you're not breathing heavy, or you're not looking ugly, or you're not generating a noise, you're not getting side aches, you're not wheezing, you're not coughing, you're not yawning. That's a very common thing in the weight room, is to yawn. It's because your body's trying to require more oxygen. Get yourself out of breath, because that's where the fat goes, through correlation. Now, I'm not gonna say it's through causation, but if yes, it's true, proven scientifically that your body breathes out most of the oxygen, most of your body fat through CO2, breathes out CO2, then we can infer that if you're breathing heavier breaths, faster breaths, breathing harder, that you're accelerating that process, right? You follow me? You follow me here? So cover your forehead. It's because there's no hair there. I don't want to worry about all the science behind that. The forehead, your feet, and your hands are the biggest places, specifically your hands and your forehead, where your body gets rid of heat. Now, when your body overheats, your muscle breaks down quicker. And that's exactly what we're looking for when we come into conditioning, is what we want to sweat, we want to breathe heavy, we want to get gassed. Now, do that sooner. We call that training, is you put yourself at a disadvantage. We add more weight to the bar. We do things that are hard for our body to do. So that's the theory. One is to allow your body to overheat so that we are sweating a lot, stay hydrated, that kind of thing. And then theory two is proven science that your body will breathe out the fat. So therefore, let's get out of breath. Simple enough. Try it out. I am trying it out. I'm not waiting for some paper to come out. I'm trying it out, and it all involves working hard, right? So win-win.